everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the ancestors past, present and future, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides and the universal energies. Absolute pleasure to have you along. So the hospice nurse has been this morning. Mum is up and about, but she is using the wheelchair at the moment, so she's I'm using the wheelchair to move her around the house, but back in bed at the moment and doom scrolling on her phone. So yep, everything's there. It's just the body is quietly deciding to take certain steps. Okay, let me put it that way. Okay, entertainment only. What I want to have a look at in this particular reading. There's that Eight of Swords again, and the Four of Pentacles. I just did a reading on Shady and got these two cards, and Majura, and got these two cards for them as well. You know, trying to keep plans from the past secret and ending up restricted and unable to move in regards to Shady. Okay, but what I want to have a look in this reading, I'm using the Gilded Tarot Royale. Miller went on, well, first of all, Mrs. Miller, oh God, it's not going to end well for any of them. Let me just put it that way. It is not going to end well as I'm shuffling. Mrs. Miller, Katie Miller, who apparently went off with Fleon at some stage. I'm assuming she's back in the scene trying to make herself relevant. Posted a meme of Greenland covered in the US flag, and Miller, Goebbels Miller, is it Goebbels Miller? Was on CNN last night, basically stating that the US has as much right to Greenland as Denmark has. I hate to tell you, but Denmark actually had an agreement with Greenland even before the US was a concept in your little white squeaky Aryan mind. Oh, please. So Greenland has been occupied by those of Danish, Norwegian and Swedish descent for thousands of years, talking back in the Viking days and pre-Viking days, talking about, a couple of thousand years. The US in its current form wasn't even a concept until 250 years ago, and then wasn't even a concept, it wasn't even solidified until 120 odd years ago. 140. Was it 140 years ago? Oh, it's so incredibly frustrating. But basically what it is that the regime are coming out and saying, we want it, therefore it's ours. So it's pretty much Mo from Calvin and Hobbes punching Calvin, stealing his lunch money and saying it's mine now, just because he's bigger and thuggerier. So incredibly frustrating. And now, apparently there is a dancing in the street organised for the 20th of January. Really? It's 2 weeks' time? Where are the hordes in the street now? I mean, the rest of the world is just going, you're organising something for 2 weeks? What's wrong with tomorrow? So anyhow, that's my little old hop off my soapbox there. Okay, so what's happened is the Danish Prime Minister has come out and said if the US takes action against Greenland, trying to claim Greenland, it's the end of NATO. I don't actually think that's much of a threat because the Orange Twerp has already come out and said and started action to remove the US from NATO anyhow. They want out anyhow. But I want to have a quick look to see how it's going to go. We've got the Moon card. Secrets being revealed, lunacy, and then we've got the Ace of Cups, new partnerships, new emotionally overwhelming, something new coming forward, a cleansing. So for whom and whom and whom, let's have a look. So Miller was on CNN. Interestingly enough, they're not. Ooh, the Sun card. Something being revealed, but I mean that it was never hidden. If you go back to, I posted in my post section Fiona Hill's deposition to Congress back in 2019. she spelled all this out. It was never actually hidden, but now it's on full display for everybody. The mercenary actions, the mercenary demands. However, let's have a look. Is the US, I mean, if anybody, Greenland should go, if it's a claim of, oh, they're in our sphere of the world stage, well, hello, they're right next to Canada. If anyone's going to, it would be Canada or Iceland, and at the end of the day, it's up to the Greenlanders. Oh, goodness me, go and learn yeah, okay, thank you. I was going to say go and learn your history, Miller, but he does know his history. He just chooses to ignore certain bits. For example, Eric, the Viking. I can't think of his other name. Was one of the first to actually set up colonization of Greenland. Okay, how is this? Right, we are at very much a crossroads point. The hidden agenda is on full display. There is no denying it. However, I think going to find themselves entrapped by the messaging and not like the outcome, because there is this solidity of protection. Remembering that the von der Leyen female, is it the Prime Minister of anyhow, a lot of female leaders. I was thinking Norway. Now, originally in 1721, it was an agreement, I believe, with Denmark and Norway and Greenland to form a union. And the manipulation on full display. We've got here the snake in the path has been revealed, and then we have the King of Swords. Things moving very quickly. Okay, so where are we going with this? This is spiraling at a rapid rate. And then underneath it all, you've got if that doesn't look like Miller, I don't know what was, taking the Emperor position. And it's all about money, 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 money. It's all it's ever about. Money, greed, power, control. Want to be emperor. I think he might have to fight Rubio for it, though. Let's have a look. The abuser, the bully. But then again, you've got this emotional coming together partnerships and the King of Swords. And then you've got the Ace of Pentacles, strengths in protection. I don't think, and then you've got the moneyed ones out in the cold. I don't think they're going to succeed with Greenland. They might attempt, but boy, oh boy, talk about effed up. Let's have a look. Is the US going to make an attempt? No, okay. Is the regime going to order the military? Remembering there's a US base there. Shady went and visited it last year. Is the US military going to the regime? Okay, come on down, let's have a look. Right, these two popped out. Yes, there is a plan for it. Absolutely. Big plan, big, beautiful plan. Challenged by the inability to bring it to fruition, the inability to harvest. So yes, absolutely, there is. Yes, there is. The inability to harvest. At the foundation, the bully, the betrayal, the self-sabotage, the win at any cost, the steal. This is the energy that they're stewing in at the moment, emboldened by Venezuela, but it is this thuggery energy. We want it, so therefore it's ours. This is the energy they're stewing in at the moment. In the past, we've got that Ace of Cups, emotionally overwhelming, a cleansing. partnerships, but this could be NATO partnerships in the past. It's been cleansed out. And then you've got the Knight of Wands. Volatility, fire energy, trying to bring this plan forward, but bogged down in the thicket. Volatile information being brought forward, but there's all these obstacles in the path. Now, I don't know who's the badger, whose country is a badger as a symbol. Do not underestimate the badger holes to break a leg in. Explosive energy here, but slow moving and being hampered. The Six of Pentacles, trying to buy, potentially then changing tack to try and buy their way in through bribery. I do believe that already they're trying to pay off Greenlanders to vote to become part of the US. I mean, why would they? Greater chance of being killed by firearm, no health system, no education, pretty much, no public funded education. Like, why would you? But anyhow, this is money potentially changing hands in the immediate future, but we have the King of Cups here externally. Potentially the Prime Minister of Denmark. Internally, it's going to be too difficult. They can't sell the messaging. It just turns into chaos, unable to bring it to fruition. The hopes and fears, again, slow-moving knight, but it's also the mercenary here, again, hampered. And we've got justice. Justice, Five of Pentacles, thwarted, and then the Five of Wands, the blame game starts. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to. I honestly don't. The Page of Pentacles on the bottom, do not underestimate the protection. Oh, by the way, release the files, the epi files, the Wheel of Fortune turning, Page of Wands, the trying to bring the ship into harbour, trying to juggle it, the inability, but then we've got the Sun and the Death card. Sun and significant ending. So I'm going to say in regards to Greenland, yes, the plan is there, but I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off. So what is going to happen? Treason, betrayal, you name it. What's going to happen? Show me Miller. What's going to happen to Miller with all this? Now, that Emperor looks like Miller through and through. Miller is a reincarnation of Goebbels. Did not end well for Goebbels. Let me just put it that way. The mustachioed man from the 1930s and early 40s. Goebbels was his henchman. Did not end well for him. Let's have a look. What's going to happen to Stephen Miller? Stephen Miller. Katie Miller. I'm just getting, it's almost like she's just left dangling out to the side there somewhere. What's going to happen to Stephen Miller? She's going to be on the wrong side of history and just be left dangling. Stephen Miller, the Six of Cups. I wouldn't say he was naive, but there is a naivety about this. He believes too strongly in his abilities. Challenged by, well, we've got the Magician, the manipulation. The Knight of Cups. What's going to happen to Miller out of all this? I mean, he's put himself forward as the public face. The orange twerp has been kept in the background, out of sight. Apparently his schedule today is only 2:30 things. At 10 a.m. he's supposed to address the GOP members' retreat at the Kennedy Center. They didn't say the Fallon and Kennedy Center. It was just the Kennedy Center on his schedule. Closed door meeting, and then a closed door policy meeting at 2:30 this afternoon. So they're keeping him out of the limelight because they can't trust him not to blab, but also he's not well. So expect AI and pre-recorded video stuff to come out, reporting to come out. So the energy that Miller's stewing in is the false friend, the false knight, the weasel. Is it a weasel or a... Looks like a weasel. It could be an otter, but, just let's see where this goes. In the past, he has been restricted. Oh, that's interesting. But in the past, he felt restricted. Now he feels like he's been given a gift. But the gift is a false gift. It's almost like Rubio's getting him to do Rubio's dirty work. Yeah, the rat in the rafters pooping in the cup up there. Be careful what you wish for with the 9 of Cups. Because here's the abuse, betrayal, win at any cost, and bringing an end. I think Miller's going to be betrayed internally. How's it going to go for Miller? So this is the here and now, this is the past, this is the going forward. It's almost like Miller's salivating at this opportunity he's been presented, but it's like they're setting him up internally, doing the hard work, putting the puzzle pieces together. Hopes and fears, this King of Cups, Knight of Outcome, Knight of Pentacles, the Mercenary, but the Wheel of Fortune, and he's out in the cold too. The false victory, something unexpected coming out of left field, the Chariot, the 6 of Pentacles, which is about the upper echelons holding on and doling out. So this is very much 5 of Pentacles energy. And he's going to be on the back foot defending himself. Legal action, death from infighting under the bus. I think, oh gosh, Miller's going to find himself betrayed. I have read on Miller a couple of times before and I've never got it ending well for him. So is Rubio going to betray Miller? Let's have a look. Feel a bit salacious in regards to this. Gossipy. Is Rubio getting Miller to do his dirty work and then will betray him? And you want that one. You refuse to shuffle that one. Okay, and I will have that one as well. The Star, the Narcissist, the Hidden Agenda, the High Priestess, the 4 of Cups being offered the poison chalice and then taken out, 4 of Swords. I'm going to say yes. I think Rubio, the Fool, the 6 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, so the Fool being forced to potentially leave or flee as guardrails come up, manipulation, 5 of Swords, betrayal, and the Moon card. Yeah, I do think he is. I think Miller is being set up, the Empress, and plotting behind the scenes, and the light being shone on the snake and the path, evidence being presented, legal action. I think you couldn't write this. If you wrote this, no one would believe it. I think Miller's been set up by Rubio to do the dirty work. There's the Tower. What else did I see? The Sun. What's behind the sun? Two of Wands. What's behind the Tower? Those that are keeping in the shadows and a nightmare situation. Yeah. Can I just leave that there? I think Rubio is setting up Miller to be the fall guy. Oh, goodness me. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Take care. Catch you shortly.